Look at that big butt. I love that big butt. I guess the other test we could do tonight is to see how many we can actually get into the white area. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Happy OONSDAY, everyone. What's going on here? I have the entire patio white. I've always heard that mice are afraid to come into bright, wide open spaces. And we're going to do a little citizen science project tonight. We're going to see if it's the same with raccoons. Can they handle this feeling of it being completely white and bright and wide open? So let's see. Now the adults should be experienced to snow, but the little babies, they haven't seen snow yet. So it's going to be a little science project. We're going to see what happens. The best goodies are in the middle, in the center, where they should be most scared if they're anything like mice. Let's find out. Okay, first raccoon of the night, and it's late. Right over there on the other side. There's 5 entry points. Let's see if he comes on in. That might be Mr. Wiener. So if any of them is gonna cross the barrier of nervousness, it'll probably be him, because he's so familiar with me, and he's so familiar with the shenanigans I put them through. Okay, I see another one out in the distance by the chestnut tree. So it's about 8:45 and they're just first showing up now. A little bit later than usual. I don't know if they've been on the outskirts peeking in going, this doesn't feel right. What are these new obstacles in the way? Let's see if they come on in. I sprinkled just a little bit of food on the outside to get them interested so they know there's food to be found. Here we go. Okay, that's Mr. Wiener. And he's investigating. This is a very surreal setting. It's got to be a little unnerving for them. I think of all the sci-fi movies I've seen where everything goes to white. It's always kind of sinister and a spooky feeling. Unless it's a representation of going to heaven. That's in the movies too. So far, just Mr. Wiener. There's another one on the outskirts there. There isn't much food out there. So they're going to have to decide to come in through one of the 5 entryways. There's 1, 2, through the ladder 3, 4, and then 5. And I notice those are the routes they usually like to take when they come to the patio, so I left those areas open. Otherwise, it's kind of a white, boxed-in feel. And you're getting all this extra reflection from the lights, so it's a little more bright. So far, Mr. Wiener's not thinking too much of it, although he hasn't come to the middle. He's eating some cat food out of the bowl. Oh, what's that, pal? Oh, you found the good stuff. So I have 4 in the middle, all filled with yummies. Kind of a white cake on top of a bed of mini marshmallows, and I had one right by the door. Mr. Wiener found the cake. He's going to drop it in the bird bath on the other side of the tarp there. And that bird bath is going to be a mess. I have a lot of water in the center here to try and keep them in the middle. Got 1, 2, 3, 4 large water containers. Okay, I see someone coming down the path. Usually Nervous Nellie comes from that direction. I see 2 babies coming. Let's see if this one enters. A little bit spooked. He's checking out almost every bowl. He's gonna get all the cakes before anyone else. Clever boy. So, right at that entrance number 1, we have a mom and 2 babies. That might be excitable Jill, it looks like. Mr. Wiener, you gotta leave some for the others. He says, no way, finders keepers. And he's creating his own entrance. He came over the tarp when I had the camera off, leaving the bird bath. Someone else is in there right now, so it's occupied. There's plenty of other water around. It's just one of his favorite spots. They have routines. And that's another test tonight, to break their routine and see how they react. Right through the middle of that tarp wall is one of their exits into the flower that they really like. Oh, yeah. It's either Jill or Bill keeps peeking in from that second entrance. Gets very disturbed and turns around. Mr. Wiener's pretty fearless. I think because he's just so used to me. And he's used to a different setting every week. So I see a bunch coming across the grass now. We're about to find out if they enter the main ring. Okay, I see a bunch coming across the yard. About 8 of them are coming from that direction. We've got a bunch coming from this direction. And look how barren it is in the middle yet. There isn't enough food on the outskirts. They're gonna have to overcome their fear and come on in. Okay, these babies are. Yeah, this is interesting. There are a lot on the outskirts right now. Well, here we go. Some of them are starting to come on in now. Looks like babies, along with Mr. Wiener. That's another adult there. But I'll see ones peeking through the entranceway and then they go, I'm not so sure. Okay. Looks like Excitable Belle just came in. So like I said before, the only correlation to this I could think of is snow. And raccoons aren't always in a totally deep hibernation. They will come out of sleep looking for food when there's snow out and it's not too cold. So they will be in areas that are completely white, covered in snow. In fact, last winter, Cutie was showing up a lot, just standing at the doorway, looking in with the most pathetic eyes, and it would break me, and of course I'd give her something. And sometimes it would just be her I would see, and I thought, wow, how is she tolerating this extreme cold and the other ones are sleeping away? Looks like Heather entered the main ring. Some babies. Look at these little guys. It's a neat setting to see them like this. Their colors, they just look a lot darker than they would otherwise. I hear a lot of noise on the outskirts. Oh boy, there's a lot going on out there. I can't see that well though. The plants are moving back there like it's Jurassic Park. Yeah, back by the shed, there's something going on. Other than Mr. Wiener though, they really aren't coming to the center so much. Although I noticed all 4 cakes are gone, all 5 cakes are gone, but the marshmallows are still there to tempt them. I think they like the idea of a quick exit. There goes Jurassic Park again. That is just a funny sight. These babies are looking for another way in. There's that path through the flowers that they're so used to, and they're coming up against that tarp wall. Looks like Cleopatra out there and her babies. Well, I think it might be Skittish. Skittish just showed up. No, I haven't seen Skittish in a couple nights. It's good to see the boy. Here comes a big group of babies. You know, I've had a couple nights this year where pretty much in the patio region I could count up to 27 and still see some on the outskirts. Can you imagine them all right here? How that would pop 30 raccoons in this little space. I think it would be pure chaos. So usually I spread food all around so they're not getting into it, they're not fighting. As you notice, I have a lot of bowls out here, so they're nicely spaced apart so they're not fighting. But this is going to winnow out who's nervous and who's not nervous, who's willing to enter the center ring and who's not. Hi, Skittish. It's been a while. Where you been? So it's funny, the closest one to me has the name Skittish. And Skittish got his name when Skittish was a baby. That's one of Moira's. And out of the 5 babies that Moira had, Skittish stayed off in the distance the most, hid off in the hostas, was very nervous. And it's taken a long time, but Skittish is finally starting to come in close to me. I can pet Skittish a little bit. Skittish will eat out of my hand, but I'd say out of all of Moira is probably the most nervous. So once I see these other bowls being accessed and I know that they've broken the fear of this white space, I'll probably throw out some food so that it's easier access for food, so there's no fighting. But I'm still curious to see. These aren't being touched so much, and I still think there's a little bit of anxiousness to be that far away from the exit point, because it's kind of a walled-in white area. I hear fighting on the outskirts. Yeah, against this white, that baby just looks so much darker than it does otherwise. Hi guys, what do you think about this? Someone peeked over the edge there. Here we go. That might be Heather. Oh, look at the little baby looking. Okay, so I tossed some peanuts out there, and they hear that one out in the distance barking and being grumpy back by the shed, and it's got them a little nervous. You know, it's funny to watch them zoom in and out of those exits. Something rattles them and they head for the exit, and then they come right back in. I think that's important to them to have an exit plan at all times. Have a tree to access, or their little tunnel to access, just in case there's danger. I'm seeing a lot on the outskirts that just aren't comfortable coming in. They're just kind of wandering out there, and there's not much in the way of food out there. Like I said, for tonight's challenge, I pretty much kept it in the middle, just sprinkled a little bit on the outskirts to get them interested. There we go, skittish. So you'll see me spoil Moira's kids more than the others. That's because I have a history with them. So I gave Skittish a cookie there. What about you? You want a cookie? No, that looks like Circus, but her tail is looking real ratty. You don't want a cookie, you want marshmallows. That is one of your favorite things. So on the outskirts, Circus will stand, and if you don't toss something, I swear she would stand for a minute straight. This one is just a circus bear. So it's funny, now we're down to just a handful in here, that a lot of them just do not care for this situation at all. They kind of bailed. I'm seeing them out there just staring in, hoping for this whole thing to change. And it will. Probably in about an hour I'll be done with this test, and I'll take it all down and put out a bunch of food for them. You know, I put a lot of different sets out for these guys, and this is probably their least favorite. They seem very nervous about it. Kind of reminds me of that windy day. They were very nervous that day too, but it's not a windy night. I think it's just really the setting. I don't want to say they're afraid of wide open spaces. It might be more of the boxed in feeling that has them nervous. But then some of them, it's not as big of a deal. But they do take for the exits a lot tonight, and it takes a while for them to come back. This one's been pretty nervous here. Just keeps coming around that corner, grabs a handful, and kind of heads back out. Not liking the situation. I think I saw Cutie on the outskirts. Let's see if Cutie can squeeze her way in. Cutie Pie, is that you? Oh, here's Cutie right here. How you doing, girl? Look what Circus left behind. Can you believe it? Can you believe anyone would leave behind one of your favorite cookies? I know, they're crazy. Cutie, there's no water out there. Where are you taking it? She likes to take it right to the water, and you'll see her almost throw it in with her mouth. Whereas Mr. Wiener will try to carry it with two hands to the water source, and he keeps dropping it along the way, like that. It's funny how they have different styles. I think Cutie's method makes the most sense. Just carry it with your mouth, drop it in the water, soften it up and eat it. You know, Cutie's getting so round and full now. She's starting to be one of the largest raccoons around. And it has nothing to do with all the cookies I'm giving her. Or does it? Yeah, I think it does. So over there is Moira. See the two cuts in the ear. It's funny, as time goes by, she used to look like the biggest, most impressive raccoon. And she's looking smaller and smaller every year to me. Again, there is just a lot of barking by a raccoon out that way. Is just completely unsettled by something. You did it. You did it. Good job. You passed up your water. She's going to go to that dirty bird bath. Now I'm curious why they're not using the water sources in here as much. You know, when they have a big find, like a half of a peanut butter sandwich or a cookie, they want to take it away from the others and they want to take it to a water source. So a lot of times they prefer a water bowl that's kind of out away from the group. And there's that nervous one. Very blonde in color too. Their colors really stand out more against this white. Heather has blonde, but not that much. Oh, here comes your routine. What did I start? By showing you a cookie. I'm lucky to have raccoons like this that let me horse around with them and pat them on the butt and pet them and brush them and play with cat toys with them. I see a lot of other people on YouTube feeding raccoons, and I don't see very much of hands-on interaction. And I think it's probably because I really bonded with them as babies last year. And maybe they just had a genetic mutation that have them leaning towards being more friendly. You have to think about wolves. The ones that humans decided to domesticate into dogs. Those first ones that were cool enough to be around us people, they probably had a genetic mutation that made them less weary of us humans. The debate is out there, did wolves choose us or did we choose wolves? Raccoons, they're very manipulative with their eyes. They come up to you, they give you a cute face, and they know how to beg and pull at your heartstrings. And I'm guessing it was very similar that wolves did that with humans, smelling that food around the campsite and sneaking in and grabbing a bite. And there was just that one with a little less fear that would get closer and closer, and next thing you know, you have this. You have a wild animal you can pet and hang out with, give it a name, and who knows? I imagine there's quite a debate out there, should raccoons be domesticated or not. A lot of the people that follow my channel have had raccoons as pets in the past, or have them at the present right now, and the way they speak about them, it's the greatest moments of their life having an animal like that in their life. So, I don't know. I don't think humans should be adverse to us ever domesticating another animal again. There seems to be this movement that animals belong in the wild and we can't ever tinker with them again, but isn't dogs the best thing humans have ever done? I think they are, and I think there would still be raccoons in the world if we domesticated a few to be a little different, a little more docile, a little more friendly, if we chose those traits. Okay, let me find a cookie for you, Cookie Monster. There you go. I'm going to have to get double stuffed for you, so that booty gets even bigger. So yeah, I personally, at this moment in my life, don't want a pet raccoon. I like the idea that they're wild, that they could come and go and have their freedom and do what they want, but I am not opposed to it. In fact, they have awesome characteristics. I've had cats and I've had dogs, and what I see in raccoons amazes me. They're so intelligent. They can be incredibly personable and friendly. They have such personalities about them. And I don't know. I'd say it's good to throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. Let's not be so homogenous as a people and say it's only one way or the highway. We should try different things. And even like this, a lot of people are opposed to raccoon feeding. I say some diversity is good. So I am going to test how far Cutie's willing to come in. I got the cookie over here, Cutie. Oh, look at you. Mr. Wiener's been this far and Silly Boy's been this far. I don't think you've ever been this far. Mr. Wiener and Silly Boy made it all the way to the kitchen once. Yeah, every day Cutie's getting more and more trusting with me. She's letting me handle her and pet her more. I sure wish Silly Boy was still around. I swear I could have just picked him up and put him on my shoulder. He was getting that friendly with me. You know, I have a chipmunk that over the weekend I was pretty much holding it with my hand all the way around its belly and shaking it around. I grabbed the chipmunk by the scruff and I was going like that. When it's in the middle of eating peanuts, it just seems like you could pretty much get away with anything. And this chipmunk is just getting so friendly. And what I'm going to try next is to feed it out of my mouth like a dolphin. With the raccoons, I don't think I need to try that yet. I know I could, and I know I'd be fine. But this is good enough. You like this little game. Give me that. I'm gonna hide it. Where's your cookie? Where's your cookie? You better get it. So definitely less raccoons on the patio than there otherwise would be with this setup. Lots of them on the outskirts. They're kind of nervous on the outskirts. Oh, I feel so bad for this little one. So I'm thinking it's mixed results. The ones that are very comfortable with me and know me seem to not be having a problem. Moira's been here, Skittish has been here, Mr. Wiener's been here, Cutie's been here, Heather. I think Excitable Bill and Jill showed up, and Circus. These are all the ones that know me. They've known me for quite some time. And it might just be their trust with me that allows them to come on in. Cleopatra. So, but a lot of the other ones, Nervous Nellie, she did not come into the ring. I don't think I even saw her on the outskirts. Although I'm guessing she was, though. She's always here religiously every night. So yeah, mixed results. It seems to be those that have the trust in me, this isn't a barrier to them, but for the other ones, it is a bit of a barrier. They are nervous about it. They don't like the blocked in and out access and sight of view. So yeah, I think, well, maybe someone else out there, a few other people need to try to repeat this experiment with their group of raccoons and see what they come up with. Don't choke, baby. Don't choke. You're so upset. You breathed in your food. Cutie, you disturbed that baby. Cutie, where's the cookies? So yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up. I got results for the experiment. A little bit of a mixed bag. I would hope someone else out there tries to repeat this experiment where they live with their raccoon population. Just get some painting tarps. You can get the party table covers. They're kind of 9 feet long by about 4 feet wide. Put those down and See how your raccoons react. See if they're nervous about that white space or not. I'd say half of them are and half of them aren't with my population of raccoons here. So, just a simple test tonight. Happy OONSDAY, everyone.